Hello everyone and welcome back to the Foggy Nelson Career Mode series. I'm your host Husker Eurocat, and in this episode you'll see final round coverage of the Quicken Loans National from just outside Washington, D.C. at Congressional Country Club. In his third round, Foggy found out that being in the rough and in the sand doesn't make things real easy. The only real bright spot was a nice birdie on the par 5 6th hole, which left him thinking that things were looking up. He came back nicely at 16 with a birdie to bring him back to even par on the back, but that only gave him a 1 under par for the round. Now tied for 17th and moving the wrong direction, Foggy was now 6 shots off the lead after 54 holes. At the start of his final round, he's dropped to tied for 26th with the likes of Jim Furyk and Keegan Bradley. There's been plenty of forward momentum from players like Bill Haas and Sergio Garcia, but the round so far belongs to Bernd Weisberger with a nice 6 under par through 11. Foggy had a spectacular warm-up session on the driving range, but once again suffered on the putting green. I just hope that he has figured out these greens that have stayed firm with no rain. He's made his way to the first tee, so let's join him there. And as always, I thank you for joining me for coverage of the Quicken Loans National here at Congressional Country Club. And I'll talk to you after the round.
Look at how long this is!
That's what you want. Nice birdie. Oh, birdie, birdie, birdie.
A bogey. Drop a shot. This is just a humongous drive, way out there.
Speeding ticket for this one. Ever made double bogey and wanted to throw your clubs in the lake? The way we're playing here, we tried to throw the clubs in the lake, we might miss the lake. That's the kind of shot that sends a definite message to your opponents.
think this is going to get there?
That's a good par. Handle the pressure there to sink that birdie putt. That was a huge tee shot.
This is going right at it.
It's looking really good. Finds the cup for a birdie there. Whoa, I wish I could hit it half that distance and fit into those pants.
Oh, that was not going to get there. Next par. That's just transmembrified.
This'll work. Nice play. A lot of muscle on this putt. That was a huge tee shot. Just needed a little extra push there. Knocks in the bogey putt and drops a stroke further back.
Oh, that could damage the hull.
Eight under for the tournament. Great finish for birdie. Look at how long this is.
A little too much mustard on that putt, possibly even sauerkraut. Knocks in the bogey putt and drops a stroke further back.
What a drive!
Need more club on this shot. It's going to be short. He's got to like this one. It's just smashed down the middle. They can't all be highlights. This one's at least on, and it's respectable.
got the birdie. No complaints about this one. It'll end up just fine.
He'll like this. He split the fairway with that tee shot. Makes his par. That ball is crushed.
Converts his par.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, once again, at least Foggy turned in an under par round. He thought that his round was going pretty good after a birdie at number 1, but a bogey and a double at 2 and 3 set the tone for the rest of the day. Although Foggy had a pretty good 3-hole stretch from 5 through 7, a dreaded 3-putt on number 9 ended the front 9 on a sour note. Now, I can only imagine what was going through his mind. It had to be somewhere else on that short putt on number 11. What did it go? All of 4 inches? Ay, ay, ay. He couldn't have been very happy after that. So having an up and down back 9, Foggy could only manage to shoot an even par round coming back in. And as a result, Foggy went backward on the leaderboard and finished tied for 34th at 9 under par, a full 10 shots off the lead of our eventual tournament winner, Zach Johnson, at 19 under par. That top 5 looks to be awfully strong with some of the heavy hitters on the PGA Tour. It would have been nice to see Foggy finish with them, but you can't win them all, I guess. The bad thing is that it wasn't even close to a top 10 finish for him either. That brings us to Foggy's shot of the day. I know he didn't have a good round today either, but he did manage to have a pretty good shot during his round. That came at the par 5 6th hole. Foggy put it in the right rough short of the green, but at least it was dry, folks. From there in the deep rough, with a lob wedge from 38 feet, would chip in for his lone eagle of the day. Now that the tournament is finished, let's take a look at some of Foggy's stats for the year. As far as the world rankings are concerned, everything remains the same for the first 5 spots, but Bubba Watson and Jason Day are able to crack the top 10. In the FedEx Cup points, the top 2 are still Foggy and Phil, but Bubba, with that outstanding finish, is able to break into the top 10 on this list as well. On the money list, while there was some shuffling, particularly in the bottom part of the top 10, the names stayed the same. On the average driving distance chart, Jason Day drops out of a tie for 5th place, and KJ Choi even though he missed the cut this week, jumps into the 8th slot. For the average score list, the top 2 positions remain unchanged, and Rory McIlroy has jumped into 3rd place all by his lonesome. Foggy has bettered his play as far as greens and regulation and sand save percentage is concerned, but his average putts per hole hasn't changed. So I fear there is some definite work to be done there. Taking a look at the event history, Foggy tied for 34th this week and hasn't finished outside the top 5 for 4 weeks since he finished tied for 44th at the Memorial Tournament. Somehow, he needs to be able to turn this ship around, and he'll have to do it at our next stop as we go inland to Akron, Ohio, and the Firestone Country Club for the World Golf Championships Bridgestone Invitational. Remember that if you enjoyed this video, leave a like so that others can enjoy it as well, and if you would like to be notified when there is a new one, subscribe by clicking on my icon at the end of the video. Be with me in my next episode when I'll have first round coverage of the WGC Bridgestone Invitational. Thank you for joining me for final round coverage of the Quicken Loans National. And until I see you at Firestone Country Club in Akron, this is Husker Eurocat saying so long for now, and have a good day, everyone.